Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning. In the last class, stopped at returning the objects. I think started returning the objects. First of all, returning the objects means here we have the three types of objects we will return from the class. One is first one is return the temporary object. Return the temporary object. Next one, here return the um, remote object. Returning the remote object. The third one is returning the current object. Return the current object. Okay, return the current object. First, you will come to return the temporary object. Temporary object. Okay, come to here. Okay, this is the read data. Returning means what kind of objects you have to return from these. Okay, you have to. The class name is the object. The class name is the return type of the method. Okay, so what is the meaning of this statement? This function, this method means add is a method having the remote object, that is passing objects, and passing object has returned from this method. Finally, at last statement, I have to return the passing objects class object. Passing objects is a class name here. Okay, that class object I have to return here. Okay, now here I will create the one more object, that is temporary object. Temp is equal to new passing objects. Okay, passing objects temp is equal to new passing objects. Okay, next. Okay, that means you have to return the temporary object means, okay, we'll write return temp here. Okay, return temp here. But that's not intention. You have to have the current object data and the current object AB and remote object AB. Current object having the AB, remote object also having the AB. Okay, now I will write it here temp dot a. Temp is also passing class object means passing objects class object means that object also having the a and b. These two are also instances. Okay, these two are also temp dot a is equal to current object a plus remote object a. Okay, current object a plus remote object a. Temp dot b is equal to, okay, that is current object b plus remote object b. Okay, current object b plus remote object b. That means the resultant values are copied into a. The remote current object a has added with remote object a, that is added, that is assigned to temporary object a. Current object b has added with current object remote object b. The remote object b, that is assigned to temporary object. Here I return the temporary object. Now where is the resultant? Temporary object having the resultant. Okay, temporary object having the resultant. Okay, now we'll go to main method. Okay, here I created the objects for passing objects class. Passing objects p1 is equal to new passing objects. Okay, this is the one object. Another object, this is p2. Okay, this is p2. Now we'll read the p1 dot read data. p1 dot read data, p2 dot read data. P2 dot read data. Here I will have one more also, passing objects P3. This is not an object. This is a reference. There is no new class name parenthesis means this is the reference object. This is not a full object. Now we'll call P3 is equal to P1 dot add of P2. Okay, P1 dot P1 is P3 is equal to P1 dot add of P2. Finally, P3 dot display. I will call the P3 dot display. First, you can read the data. P1 dot read data. Call the read data of P1 object. Next, read the P2 object read data. Okay, suppose P1 object A, B are 10 and 20. P2 object A, B are 30 and 40. Now P3 is equal to P1 dot P2 means go to current object. I will copy here for explanation. First we will come to, this is the P1 dot read data. Come here, P1 dot read data scanner. Okay, system dot out dot println in the P1 object A is equal to P1 dot A is equal to 10, P1 dot B is equal to P1 dot B is equal to 20. Okay, P1 dot B is equal to 20. Okay, next once again we'll call the P2 dot read data. Same read data is executing in P2 object. Okay, now here enter AB values. Here I will give the P2 dot A is equal to 30, P2 dot B is equal to 40. Okay, now come to P3 is equal to P1 dot add of P1, add of P2. Come to here, this is the add method. Here I created a new object. This is the temporal object. Temp also having the A and B. Okay, temp also having the A and B, because of this temp is also object of the passing class object, passing objects class, the passing objects class. Okay, here the temp is also object. That object also having the A and B. Now I can assign the temporary object A is equal to current object A. Okay, which is the current object A? P1 is the current object. Here P1 is the current object. Okay, in the current object also having the A, simply we'll write the A, that is P1 dot A, which is the current object. From that object you will get the A. A plus remote object. Where is the remote object? That P2 has copied into P. P2 has copied into P. Now that is remote object A. Okay, remote object A. At the same time, temporary object B is equal to current object B plus remote object B. Okay, current object B plus remote object B. Return temp. Temp having the resultant values of A and B. Okay, that is assigned to P3. Okay, that is assigned to P3. Now the P3 dot display. P3 dot display means the resultant values 10 plus. Look here, 10 plus 30 is 40 and 20 plus 40 is 60. Okay, 20 plus 40 is 60. Okay, this is the output of this program. You can now run this program. There's a problem here. My display system dot out dot println passing objects. Okay, now we'll run the values. P1 object AB values are 10 and 20. P2 object AB values are 30 and 40. The resultant is 40 and 60. Where is the resultant? P3. Okay, P3 dot display. Suppose we will call P1 dot display. What are the values in the P1? What is the state of P1? What is the state of the P2? You have to find out. You can now run this program. The P1 object values are 10 and 20. Okay, 30 plus 10 is equal to 40. 20 plus 4 is equal to 24. Run once again. 10 and 20, 30 and 40. Okay, 10 plus 30 is equal to 40. 20 plus 40 is equal to 60. Okay, this is the P1 object. 10 and 20 means this is the P1 dot display. What are the values in the P1? 10 and 20. What are the values in the P2? P2 dot display. What are the AB values? 30 and 40. What are the AB values in the number P3? P3 having the 40 and 60. Okay, 40 and 60. This is the program for, okay, to create the, to returning the temporary object. To return the temporary object. Okay, the next one, what is the next one? Returning the remote object. How do you return the remote object? Okay, as usual, the code is not changed. Main code is not changed. Simply here, there is no need of this temporary object. No need of this temporary object, this statement here. Okay, which object you have to return here? Remote object. Which is the remote object here? P. Okay, P is the remote object here. Okay, now we can return means, okay, you will get the values, the output values. P dot A is equal to A plus P dot A. A plus P dot A. P dot B is equal to B plus P dot B. Okay, the resultant values are in the remote object. Okay, remote object A is equal to current object A plus remote object A. Next, P dot B is current, that is remote object B is equal to current object B plus remote object B. Okay, remote object P, return P. Okay, return P means the P has assigned to P3. The P has assigned to P3. Same function call is not changed. The method calling is not at all changed. Only the return value is the different. In the previous, that is the temporary object. Here, that is the remote object. Okay, that is the remote object. Okay, now I'll explain the same. Come to here. First, you will call the P1 dot read data and P2 dot read data as usual. Next, call the P3 is equal to P1 dot add of P2 means. Okay, come here. P2 has copied into P. That is remote object A. What is the remote object A? 30. Okay, is equal to, what is the current object A? 10. 10 plus 30. P dot A means 30. 10 plus 30 is equal to 40. Okay, next one, P dot B. That is B, remote object, current object P is the 30. B is the 20. Okay, remote object B is the 40. 20 plus 40 is equal to 60. Which object has returned here? Remote object. Remote object in the name of P. Okay, the P has assigned to P3. Okay, the P has assigned to P3. Okay, we'll get the same kind of output, no change of output. Enter AB values 10 and 20, 30 and 40. n plus 30. Okay, here the one change. Okay, here there is no P2. Okay, P2 also for 40 and 60 because of here the P2 object has changed. Okay, P2 object has changed. Here P2 dot display means what are the values in the P2? What are the values in the P2? The values in the P2 are 40 and 60. That is assigned to P3. Okay, the values of P2 AB are 40 and 60. That is assigned to P3. In the previous, we have the three objects. Here we have the only two objects, P1 and P2. There is no third object. That is, there is no temporary object. The P2 has assigned to, in the previous, P3 has assigned with P2. Sorry, temporary object. Here P3 has assigned. What is the return value here in this program? The return value is the P2. In the previous, that is the temp. P3 is assigned to P2 means P3 having the same values, P2 also having the same values. This is the first P1 dot display. The values of A and B in the P1 is 10 and 20. The values of A and B in the P2 object 40 and 60. The values of A and B are in the P3 object 40, 60. No change. Okay, no change of values. Okay, but here in the previous, here we get the 30, 40. Because of their temporary object, there is no change of remote object values there. Remote object value, remote object A plus current object A is equal to temporary object A in the previous program. Here, remote object A is equal to current object A plus remote object A. What is the meaning of this statement? Remote object A is equal to current object A plus remote object A. That means the remote object A has updated. Okay, here the current object B, remote object B is equal to current object B plus remote object B, which has updated here. Remote object B has updated return P. This is the remote object that is assigned to P3. P3 is equal to P2. Once this is executed, the statement has executed. P3 is equal to P2. Okay, P3 dot display will get 40, 60. P2 dot display also will get the 40, 60. Okay, that's the concept here. Returning the which kind of objects here? A remote object. Okay, which kind of object here? Remote object. Next one, what is the next option? Returning the current object. Okay, which is the current object here? P1 is the current object. Okay, P1 is the current object. One more important point you have to watch here. You have to observe one thing. P1 doesn't have the name. Suppose P1 dot add of P2 means in the P1 object itself, in the P1 object, there is no name for that object. There is no name for that object. Remote object having the name, temporary object also having the name. Temporary object name is temp, remote object name is P. What is the name of the current object? Can you write P dot A here? Can you write P1 dot A? Definitely will get the error. Where is the P1 in this program? Where is the P1 in this passing objects class? No P1. The method is executing in which object means that is called as a current object. Okay, that is called as current object. The method is executing inside the object means the method is executing inside the object means okay, that object name is not defined inside the method. Inside the method, the object name is not defined, not declared. Okay, itself that is a P1 object. Suppose if you want to return the P1, there is no name for P1 there. There is no name. Now we can say suppose something about to tell about yourself means first of all you have to go this is my name. This is Balakrishna. Okay, this is Balakrishna. Okay, this is referred itself. Okay, this is referred itself. P1 dot okay, add of means the add method is executing in the P1. There is no name for that object. Okay, how can you say that is the object? That what is that object is current object means this is the current object. This is object. Okay, this is P1. Okay, this is P1. This is Balakrishna. Like this, if you want to introduce yourself, you have to use the this. Okay, if you want to introduce yourself, you have to use the this. Okay, here if you want to return the current object, you need the this reference. You don't know what is the this up to now. Okay, I will introduce now. Okay, what is the this reference? What are the usage of this? Okay, the first one, come to the, okay, here, this is the CSC class. Okay, here what are the instances? X and Y. Okay, what are the instances here? X and Y. Here, read data, X is equal to X, Y is equal to Y. Okay, read data. This is the read data int X and int Y. X is equal to X, Y is equal to Y. Okay, X is equal to X. That means the formal parameter X is assigned to instance. What is the concept here? The instance names are equivalent to formal parameter names. What are the instance names here? X and Y. What are the formal parameters names here? X and Y. Both are X and Y. Okay, actually what is the need of this read data? Assign the formal parameter X to the instance X. That means what is our intention here? The left hand side is instance. What is our assumption? Instance. Instance is equal to parameter. This is our assumption. This is our assumption. Instance is equal to parameter. This is our assumption. Okay, the same. Y is equal to Y also. What is our assumption? What is our assumption? Same kind of assumption. Left hand side is an instance, right hand side is a parameter. Left hand side is an instance, right hand side is a parameter. Okay, fine. Okay, this is the implementation. Now I will display the values. I will go to here, create the object for CSC class. CSC S is equal to new CS. CSC S is equal to new CSC. CSS is equal to new CSC. Sorry, the class name is in capital. Suppose if it is S1, I will take the two variable, two objects. Okay, now S1 dot read data 10 and 20. Next, coming to here, I will create one more object, that is S2. Using S2 also read the data. Suppose 30 and 40. Okay, 30 and 40. Okay, next we will call the S1 dot display S2 dot display. Okay, what's the class here? This is the class. I'll copy for explanation. Comments for explanation only I copied here. Now come to CSS1 is equal to two objects are created here. Okay, two objects are created here. The first object is S1. S1 dot read data means, okay, 10 is copied into X, 20 is copied into Y. These two are the actual arguments. These two are the formal arguments. X and Y are the formal arguments. Now we will assign X is, what is the parameter? Parameter value is equal to 10. That is assigned to instance. Now in the S1 object, what is the X value? 10. Okay, next, what is the Y value? 20. This is the parameter. Y is the right hand side is the parameter, that is 20, that is assigned to Y instance. Okay, in the S1 object, what are the X and Y values? 10 and 20. That is our assumption. Okay, now we'll come to S2 dot read data in object S2. Okay, in the first one, S1 dot read data, in which object the read data method has executed in the S1 object? S1 object X and Y values are 10 and 20. Okay, 10 and 20. S2 dot read data means this is the current object. S2 dot read data means in the S2 object the read data x1 with the parameters are x is 30, y is 40. Okay, now x is equal to x. That means the parameter is assigned to x. In the S2 object x is 30. In the S2 object y is 40. Okay, now we'll call s1 dot display. Okay, system dot out. That is in the object s1 what are the x and y values? 10 and 20. Okay, in the object s2 what are the x and y values? 30 and 40. Okay, you can, that is our assumption writing the program. But you will get the wrong results. Find out. Check it. You will get 0 zeros. Our assumption is wrong. Actually, what's the output we can expect? 10, 20, 30, 40. But we are getting 0, 0, 0, 0. The reason here, okay, come to x is equal to x means every storage class having the two property. Every storage class having the two properties. One is scope, another one is the extent. One is scope, another one is extent. Okay, fine. What is the scope? Visibility of the variable. Visibility of the variable is called as scope. Okay, in this block, x and y are parameters. That means x and y are local to read data. Instances are global to read data. Instances are global to read data. Okay, in a block, the local variables are having the higher priority. You can access, suppose in C language, I will write the code here in C language. Void main. Int x. Okay, having some code here. Having some code. Okay, here I will open one more block. Okay, using the same name. Using the same name. Suppose here I will write x is equal to 10. Which x has assigned? The 10 has assigned for which x? This block x or this block x, main block x. Here we will write the x, which x has accessed. The global x of this block, or suppose this is the y. Okay, global x or local x. Which x has accessed? Which x has accessed? Suppose A section having the one name, B section also having the one name. Okay, in two blocks. I will call A section A means, A section A name means, okay, in the A section, I can identify that name A section only. In the B section, I can identify that name, that access is within the section only. Okay, suppose here X is in two areas in the same program. One is in the main, another one is declared in the while block. Okay, while block. Here in this block, this is the local. Here X is the local variable for while block. Okay, suppose you can write, you can access x is equal to 10 means you will write 100 times or 200 times x is equal to 10 means that is which x, while block x. Itself that is a while block x. You cannot differentiate this x and this x in C language. We cannot differentiate. The same problem is arising here. Okay, the same problem. Okay, looks like this is the same. Okay, look here. Okay, here x and y are outer, here the local. These two are also formal parameters, are also local variables to get data. Okay, here also I have the x means, here we will write x is equal to x means, that is not instance is equal to parameter. That is not equal to instance is equal to parameter. That is not equal. That is parameter is equal to parameter. Left hand side x is parameter, right hand side x is also parameter. Both are parameters. Y is equal to y. Left hand side is a parameter, right hand side is also parameter. But what is our intention? The left hand side x and y are instances. Okay, we have to differentiate which is instance, which is parameter. Okay, you have to differentiate which is the instance, which is the parameter. Okay, that concept is called as instance variable hiding. Okay, this concept is called as instance variable hiding. Hide the instance variables. Okay, suppose you can say this is an instance, this is a parameter. Okay, instance variable hiding. Okay, instance variable hiding. Now we'll come to suppose whenever we will call the s1 dot read data. Okay, come to here, read data method execution. Okay, read data method execution. Now we are in which object? S1 dot read data of 10 comma 20 means read data method is executed in which object? Which object? Share S1 dot read data of 10 comma 20 is executed in which object? S1 dot read data in which object? S1 object. S1 dot read data means S1 is a current object. Okay, S1 is a current object that is executing. Void read data method is executing in the current object. In the current object itself having the A and B, sorry, X and Y. In the current object itself having the X and Y. You have to differentiate. Suppose here you will write S1 means you will get error. Sure, you will get error. Suppose you will go to CSC S1, you will get error. Where is S1 here? Where is S1 here? S1 dot x is equal to x, you cannot write it. Instead of that, the S1 has replaced with, okay, the S1 has replaced with this. What is this here? This is the S1. This is the x belongs to current object. Which is the current object? S1 is the current object. Okay, here x belongs to current object. Now you have to differentiate. This is x is the parameter. Okay, this one is instance. Current object instance x is here at left hand side. Current object y at left hand side. Okay, current object y at left hand side. At right hand side have the parameter. This dot x is not equivalent to x. X is a parameter. This dot x means current object x. This means this is a reference. Okay, this is a reference. Okay, this is referred always current object. The current object itself doesn't have the name. The scope of the scope problem that is not visible. The name of the object is not visible inside the class, inside the object. Okay, anybody can write your name on your hands. Anybody can write on your name on forehead. No, because of you have the knowledge. What's your name? What's your number? What's your father name? Everything you have to recorded. You have recorded in the memory. If you want to tell about yourself, you can use the this. This is so and so. Okay, these are my hobbies. Okay, these are my hobbies. Like this. This means if you want to say about yourself. Okay, that is this means this is the S1. Whenever we can call the S1 dot read data, the this has replaced with S1. Okay, the this has replaced with S1. Whenever you will call the S2 dot read data, this has replaced with S2. Okay, this has replaced with S2. Whenever you can call S10 dot read data, that this has replaced with stem. Okay, this has replaced with stem. This is the concept. This is the meaning of this. Okay, when do you apply this? Suppose the ultimate solution, suppose I don't want to use the this means, simply you can change the instance names x and y or formal parameters x and y. Suppose here you will write a comma b, here you can write a x comma y, means a is equal to x, b is equal to y. That's not a problem. That is not at all problem. No need of this there. Okay, understand. Suppose here these two are a also, a and b, you will write it here, this dot a also, no problem. This dot b also, no problem. This belongs current object. Okay, this belongs current object instance. Okay, this belongs current object instance. Okay, understand? That is this dot is a this dot. The instance names are equivalent to parameter names. Then parameters are assigned, the same names of parameters are assigned to same names of instances. The same names of instances in a particular block. Then that will gives the wrong results. You will go through the this reference. Okay, even only in that circumstance only you can use the this means, that is wrong. Whenever you can write it, that's not a problem. X is not equal to a, the name of instance is different, a parameter name is different also. You have to write it. This is an instance. How can you say this is the instance in the current object means? With the help of this. Okay, with the help of this, suppose in the previous case I will write it temp dot a is equal to a plus p dot a. Now you will write it instead of simple a, you will write this dot a also. This means that is a p1 dot a. Okay, this means p1 dot a. You will write it this dot a. In local, in current object, how can you access the members means directly you can access. Directly you can access the members, instances. Okay, using this also you can access, no problem. Okay, when is mandatory you have to use the this. When is mandatory? When this is mandatory, in this case, instance names are is equivalent to parameter names. Instances are parameters are assigned to instances. In these two conditions, you should follow the this. Okay, you should follow the this, no doubt at all. Otherwise, you will get the wrong results. Okay, now we'll come to this is the this reference. Now we'll come to passing objects. Now we'll return the remote object. Okay, now I will return the remote object means here I will write it. Okay, simple a is equal to a plus p dot a. Current object a is equal to current object a plus, we will write it at this, no problem. You have to differentiate. No need of differentiate here. Okay, there is no parameters. Okay, this dot a is equal to this dot a plus p dot a. This dot b is equal to this dot b plus p dot b. Okay, this dot b plus p dot b. Okay, which object you have to return here? Current object. Simply instead of p, you write this. Returning the current object. Returning the current object. Return this means returning the current object. Okay, returning the current object. Now I'll copy this. Go to main. Now I'll replace this code with passing objects class. Passing objects e1 is equal to new passing objects. This is the object 1. I need one more object. Control C, Control V. This is P2. I need one more object also, that is P3. This is the three objects. Now we'll call p1 dot read data. Next p2 dot read data. Next one p3 is equal to p1 dot add of p2. p1 dot add of p2. Okay, next one. Okay, how to display p1 dot display p2 dot display p3 dot display. p3 dot display. Okay, now we'll call the p1 dot read data here. Okay, reading the a and b in the p object 10 and 20 and p2 object 30 and 40. A and b are 30 and 40. Now calling the p3 is equal to p1 dot add of. Okay, this dot a is equal to this dot a. What is this here? p1. p1 dot a is equal to 10 plus. Okay, p2 dot a is equal to 20. 10 plus 20 is 30. 10 plus 30 is equal to 40. That is assigned to current object a. The current object a value has updated here. At the same time, the current object b value has updated. Return this. Okay, return this means here p1 has returned, that is assigned to p3. Now where is the resultant? p1 having the resultant, p3 also having the resultant. p1 dot display is 4060, p3 dot display is 4060, p2 dot display is 3040. Okay, run this program. Okay, the first one is p1 dot display 4060. The second one is p2 dot display, that is remote object 3040. The third one is p3 dot display 4060. Okay, p3 dot display 4060. Okay, how can you return the current objects with the help of this reference? Return this. From which object, from which method you want to return the current object, simply you can write it return this. Okay, return this means it returns the current object. It returns the current object. Okay, it returns the current object. Okay, finally, what is the this? This is always reference the current object. Current object doesn't have the name inside the object. Okay, you have to get the what is the name of the object inside the object. You need to write this. Okay, you need to write the this. Okay. Okay, these three are the three different types of programs, and this is also covered. Okay, this is also, this reference is also covered. Next one is suppose access control. Okay, access control in Java language, we have the four types of access control. Four types. Access control. The first one is public. The second one is private. The third one is protected. The fourth one is no access specifier. Fourth one is no access specifier. Okay, public, private, protected, and no access specifier. Up to now, I did not use these three things. Public, private, and private also only once I have used it. Always I have to apply no access specifier. No access specifier means here I have the two instances A and B. What kind of instances are these means? No access specifier, no private before the instances or before the method, no private, no public, no protected means that is called as no access specifier. Okay, that is called as no access specifier. Access control. Okay, that is called as no access specifier. Okay, up to here the method, what kind of method it is? It is the no access specifier method, no public, no private, no protected. What kind of method it is? It is also no access specifier method, no private, no public, and no protected. Okay, here what kind of variables these two? No access specifier instances, because of no public, no private, no protected. Okay, no protected. Okay, such kind of access control, four types of access control. Up to now I have applied only one kind of access specifier, that is no access specifier. Okay, that has only no access specifier. Okay, next we will go to what is the private, what is the public, what is the protected. Okay, what is the protected? Now I will take one more example, one more class. Class name is access. I don't want to use the static method, public static void main. Int x, int a. This is no access specifier variable. Public int b. This is the public variable. Next one is private int c. This is the private variable. Next one is protected. Okay, this is the protected entity. A protected entity. Totally we have the four types of variables in a class. How many types of variables here? Four types of. This is no access specifier. No access specifier. This is public. This is private. This is protected. Okay, this is the class name access. Now we'll go to main.java. Okay, I will create the object for model of all these things. Okay, just I will call the create the object for access class. Access is equal to new access. Okay, now a dot a is equal to 10. A dot a is equal to 10. Okay, a is here access specifier. See here a is the, suppose I will take s not a, s dot a. Okay, in the access specifier class, this is the class. Okay, this is the class. Here a is the no access specifier. By the object of access class. Okay, here I call the s dot a is equal to 10. This a belongs to s object. S object is which class object? Access class, that is no access specifier. Okay, next one, h dot b is equal to 20. That is also access. Okay, these all are in one class. Okay, that means from this class here I can access no access specifier variable and also public variable. It's not a problem. Between the classes you have to access no access specifier and also public. Actually here a and b are belongs to access class, but where I can